Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Kevin Costner's Horizon, Part 2 is more exciting after Yellowstone Season 5's John Dutton IE failure. Horizon, an American saga, Chapter 2's premiere comes a couple of months after the Yellowstone series finale, and it might help those disappointed with John Dutton IE's ending in the Taylor Sheridan TV show. Kevin Costner exited the neo-Western drama series following Season 5, Part 1's finale, shocking many. As a result, the actor wasn't around to give his character the closure he desperately needed and deserved during Season 5, Part 2, which served as Yellowstone's conclusion, although its universe will live on in several spin-offs and prequels. There were many reasons behind Costner's Yellowstone exit, with one relating to the show's schedule. Filming the neo-Western drama took a long time, and Costner wanted to condense production on the Paramount Network series to focus more on the Horizon and American saga movies. Ultimately, the two parties weren't able to come to an agreement. Costner left Yellowstone, devoting most of his time to his epic Western film franchise, while Sheridan and co. were forced to end the TV show without their lead character. During the Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2 premiere, viewers learned that John supposedly died by suicide in the middle of the night at the governor's mansion. However, Beth and Jamie were hesitant to believe that story, and their intuition was right. Sarah Atwood hired assassins to murder John and make it look like a suicide. In later episodes, Jamie proved his father was killed, and the Duttons and the ranch hands, Chief Thomas Rainwater and Lennell Perry, buried him in their family's graveyard, next to his ancestors and son. Unfortunately, many were unhappy with this ending for John. Some viewers were upset about how abruptly Yellowstone killed off John. After being the face of the series since the beginning, they thought Kevin Costner's character deserved a better send-off. Given John's legacy in Yellowstone, viewers felt disappointed that his and the show's ending was so anticlimactic, wishing that his death was more grand or impactful, instead of just being the catalyst to the other characters' central dilemma of losing the ranch. Unfortunately, there's no going back for Yellowstone. However, there's a way for Costner to move forward. Whereas Kevin Costner didn't get to properly close out his character's arc in Yellowstone, he can bring the Horizon, an American saga film series, to a complete end. Costner has been developing his epic Western for over 30 years and is determined to tell its full story. Horizon, an American saga, Chapter 1 premiered in June 2024, while Horizon, an American saga, Chapter 2 is set for a theatrical release starting on an unknown date. After that, Costner has 2 more movies in the works, with Horizon, an American saga, Chapter 4 intended to be the last installment in the series. Horizon, an American saga is all the more exciting and promising because not only is it a Western saga that Costner is directing and co-writing, but he is also playing the lead, Hayes Ellison, so Costner has complete control over the franchise's story and his character's full journey, including his ending. He can make it much more satisfying than John Dutton's conclusion. Unfortunately, bringing Horizon, an American saga full circle with a 4th movie might not be possible as the film series' fate is up in the air. Horizon, an American saga, Chapter 1 was released on June 28, 2024, and ultimately bombed at the box office. The movie only grossed $38.7 million against a $50 million budget, $38 million of which Kevin Costner personally funded, per Variety. Chapter 1 also received mixed reviews from critics. Consequently, Chapter 2's premiere was delayed. However, the tides might be turning for Costner. The sequel made its debut at the 81st Venice International Film Festival on September 7, 2024, and is set to be screened at the Santa Barbara International Film Festival on February 7, 2025. Horizon, an American saga, Chapter 2's theatrical release might be right around the corner, giving fans the chance to form their opinions and open the door for the development of Chapter 3 and Chapter 4. In the wake of Yellowstone Season 5's dramatic and polarizing conclusion, Kevin Costner's new venture Horizon, Part 2, has suddenly gained an unexpected surge in excitement. For many fans of Costner's iconic portrayal of John Dutton IE, his departure from the wildly successful Western series has left a bittersweet taste in the air. But as the dust settles on Yellowstone Horizon, Part 2 presents a fascinating new chapter for the legendary actor, proving that he still has much more to offer, particularly in a world that's ripe for reinvention. The end of Yellowstone Season 5 left many fans questioning the future of the Dutton family legacy. The show, which had once captured the hearts and minds of millions, became a fractured version of its former self in its concluding season. Fans had followed the intense and emotionally charged storyline of John Dutton, whose battle to preserve his family's ranch was filled with hard choices, personal sacrifices, and a complex moral code. Yet the finale left many unsatisfied, with critics and viewers expressing disappointment in how John Dutton's journey ended. Costner, as the patriarch, had long been the centerpiece of the show's narrative. His performance, often stoic, yet laced with moments of vulnerability, elevated the character and made him a modern-day antihero for the ages. But in Season 5, his character became somewhat of a parody of the larger-than-life figure he once embodied. The once mighty Dutton patriarch's inability to regain control over his own life, let alone his family's ranch, struck many as a failed attempt at a redemption arc that fell flat. The lackluster ending was a difficult pill to swallow for many fans who had invested so much into John Dutton's legacy. And yet, in Horizon, Part 2, the film has swiftly become a welcomed reminder of Kevin Costner's undeniable screen presence and the complexity he brings to his roles. The fact that Horizon, Part 2 arrived on the heels of the Yellowstone letdown worked in its favor, as audiences were eager to see Costner break free from the confines of the Dutton family and embrace a new role entirely. Costner's new film feels like a breath of fresh air, a departure from the heavy, grim atmosphere that defined Yellowstone's latter seasons. Horizon, Part 2 is an epic tale set in the Old West, but unlike the morally ambiguous world of Yellowstone, it's a film that feels more rooted in the classic Western spirit of adventure, individualism, and redemption. Costner plays a seasoned gunslinger who finds himself entangled in a complex plot of land disputes, betrayals, and unlikely alliances. The stakes are high, but there is a sense of freedom that wasn't always apparent in his role as John Dutton. The film's pacing is quicker, the dialogue sharper, and the character of Costner's protagonist more dynamic and nuanced. But what truly makes Horizon, Part 2 stand out is how it taps into Costner's true strengths as an actor. While his portrayal of John Dutton was, at times, burdened by the weight of a show that had grown progressively darker and more convoluted, Horizon lets Costner shine in a role that plays to his love of character-driven narratives. The movie's heart lies in Costner's performance, which is riveting and effortlessly charismatic. His character is a man with a past, but it's a past that doesn't weigh him down in the same way John Dutton's wrenching troubles did. Instead, it drives him forward in a quest for justice in a lawless world. Horizon, Part 2 is, in many ways, the antithesis to Yellowstone's depiction of John Dutton's decline. Where Yellowstone felt mired in grim realism, Horizon offers a sense of hope and possibility. There's a sense of optimism in Costner's character's journey, a man who, despite his age and the scars of his past, still has the will to fight for something greater. This emotional undercurrent resonates with viewers who may have been left disillusioned by the tragic trajectory of John Dutton's life. Where Dutton failed to find resolution, Costner's character in Horizon is actively seeking it. Moreover, the film allows Costner to showcase a much wider range of his talents. While the stoic John Dutton was occasionally a one-note character, Costner's portrayal of a grizzled gunslinger is filled with a depth that feels refreshing. He expertly navigates between moments of hardened grit and quiet tenderness, adding layers to a character that could have easily been one-dimensional. In Horizon, Part 2, Costner's character interacts with a rich array of individuals, a stark contrast to the often isolated John Dutton. These interactions allow Costner to flex his acting muscles in ways that Yellowstone didn't always permit him to do.